Drones. The word conjures up images of airstrikes and dark intelligence missions overseas. But far from the battlefields of foreign wars, a new type of drone is appearing in our skies, capable of, well, just about anything. They're being used by movie makers to get spectacular shots. The FBI, U.S. Border Patrol, and a growing number of local law enforcement agencies want them for surveillance. Drones have the potential to revolutionize many industries, from agriculture to firefighting, from journalism to urban planning, even the way stores and restaurants deliver to your door. Drones come in all shapes and sizes, as large as an airliner or as small as an insect. They can be remotely controlled or programmed to fly automatically. In Oregon, startup companies like Arial Technology International envision a thriving drone manufacturing industry.
We get a lot of phone calls from people all over the world, all over the country, who are doing all kinds of various projects, and they need solutions. There's already the inspection industry, accident reconstruction, wind turbines and cell phone towers. Anytime you have to send somebody up something, there's huge risk and huge liability, involved in that. Any kind of means to gather the information or to get the imagery or to get the data back from a remote means makes much more sense.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Oregon Field Guide. I'm your host, Steve Harmon.
Journalists at Oregon Public Broadcasting want to use drones to better tell stories.
We do a lot of stories that deal with geology and geography, and getting that drone and getting up in the air and getting that different perspective really adds a completely different dimension to the stories that we're doing, so we're very excited about it.
But critics argue that thousands of drones in the air raise safety concerns. How would they avoid hitting other aircraft or crashing into buildings or people on the ground? I've been flying airplanes for almost 20 years. When I fly, I spend a lot of time watching out for other airplanes. It's hard to spot them, even with the help of air traffic control. But drones are usually smaller than airplanes, virtually invisible on radar, and controlled by an operator who may have little or no training. The results of a collision could be catastrophic.
Anyone in the country can buy a small, remote-controlled drone. They're soaring in popularity. But what happens if a passenger plane has to dodge one on landing?
5 miles from a New York airport, a jumbo jet pilot suddenly spots something on final approach.
Kennedy Tower, just for information, we just saw a little drone below us.
The FAA agrees. It stepped in to prohibit the commercial use of drones until regulations can be drafted, upsetting journalists and entrepreneurs alike.
But of course, the FAA ban that sort of just shuts everything off in terms of journalism to just arbitrarily blanket out all journalism on it is amazing to me.
There's money being lost as we sit here twiddling our thumbs trying to figure out what some regulations would be, and there's already been people out here in the industry doing this legitimately, professionally, safely. I kind of look at it as though, why can't the industry regulate itself?
Beyond safety, drones raise major issues of privacy. Drones can be used to stalk people, like California Senator Dianne Feinstein.
Well, I'll tell you the story. I was being a demonstration in front of my house, and so I went to the window to peek out and see who was there, and there was a drone right there at the window looking out at me.
The opportunity for unprecedented levels of surveillance by our government is very new, and that's our concern. I think that we are very wary of letting this technology turn us into a surveillance state. What types of footage is collected, and how long is that footage held within the law enforcement offices' databases? Once the information is collected, with whom is it shared? And does the public have meaningful oversight over that collection?
Responding to concerns about law enforcement using drones to spy on citizens, in 2013, the Oregon legislature passed a law prohibiting their use without a warrant. But who is to stop other people snooping?
I end up flying sometimes over neighbors' houses or property. And I can see how people, if they looked out their window and saw a copter flying nearby their house, would be concerned.
How would you respond if you got up one morning and there was a drone over your backyard?
I'd want to know where they got it from and if I can sell them another one.
Billions of dollars, public safety, and personal privacy. Just a few things at stake in what promises to be a long and bitter war of the drones.